All right, welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really fascinating national blueprint. It literally connects your daily routines directly to the broader economy of the Maldives. If you've ever wondered how your personal health choices intersect with national wealth, well, you're in the right place. We're going to break down exactly how these massive macro-level policies translate into micro-level health outcomes, basically how this blueprint affects everything from your wallet to your overall well-being. Okay, so let's dive right in with a question that might actually surprise you. Can affordable housing lower your blood pressure? I know, it sounds like a massive jump, right? Like, what on earth does real estate have to do with your cardiovascular system? But the answer here reveals just how deeply our physical health is tied to our economic environment. We so often treat wealth and health as completely separate conversations, but the reality? They are intrinsically linked. To get a handle on this connection, we're going to structure our explainer today around four key areas. First, promoting healthy eating. Second, lowering cost of living stress. Third, your daily health checklist. And fourth, a shared national responsibility. We'll start big, zoom right into what you can do at home today, and then tie the whole shebang together. All right, let's jump into Section 1, promoting healthy eating, looking at both public and private choices. It's really fascinating to contrast the sweeping government regulations happening in our public spaces with the private personal choices we're encouraged to make in our own kitchens. On the public side, this blueprint focuses on major structural changes. We're talking mandatory nutrition labels, actively reducing salt in restaurants and cafes, and rolling out these broad public campaigns. But on the private side, the strategy totally shifts. It relies entirely on encouraging and empowering families to get back to home-cooked meals. It's a pretty brilliant two-pronged approach, targeting both where we eat out and where we live. And here's the kicker. When both the public and private spheres actually align on better nutrition, the ultimate outcome is huge. It leads to a massive drop in national rates of hypertension and heart disease. It's really all about changing the default options in our society. When the environment around us shifts, the easiest, most accessible choice organically becomes the healthiest choice for your heart. And man, that kind of structural shift, it pays dividends for generations. Moving right along to Section 2, lowering cost of living stress, or as I like to think of it, economics as healthcare. The source material outlines three massive systemic interventions here: expanding affordable housing, supporting local agriculture and fisheries, and strengthening social protection for low-income families. Now, on the surface, sure, this reads like a strictly economic or urban development playbook. You'd completely expect to see this in a city planning meeting. But remember our opening question? This is actually a foundational health strategy, perfectly disguised as an economic blueprint. And this brilliantly illustrates the biological ripple effect of those exact economic policies. Think of it like a domino effect. Step 1 is implementing affordable housing and social protection. That naturally leads to Step 2, lowering financial stress. When those heavy daily financial burdens are lifted, when families aren't just constantly stressed about rent or groceries, psychological stress plummets. And that gets us to Step 3, which physically lowers the blood pressure of the entire population. It is just a stunning reminder that housing policy and social safety nets are literally vital healthcare policies. Okay, Section 3, your daily health checklist. This is your personal toolkit. The text actually gives every single citizen a highly actionable, rapid-fire checklist of daily habits, and it covers the whole spectrum. We're talking checking your blood pressure regularly, actively cutting down the salt in your meals, getting out for a brisk 30-minute walk every day, and making sure you actually get enough restorative sleep. It also highlights managing stress, whether that's through prayer, conscious breathing, or just taking a moment to relax, alongside avoiding smoking and limiting alcohol. It's a comprehensive but completely manageable toolkit that you, yes you, can start using today. The crucial takeaway here is super simple. Small daily habits absolutely protect your long-term health. While the government handles the macroeconomy and the heavy lifting of city planning, these small, consistent routines are the absolute best shield for your personal, long-term vitality. Those big systemic changes, yeah, they take years to fully materialize. But you have the power to protect yourself and build your own resilience starting this very second. Which brings us to our final piece, Section 4, a shared national responsibility, focusing on how we all work together. The core thesis of our source material is summed up perfectly in this quote. It says, hypertension is preventable, but only if citizens, employers, and policymakers work together. I love that. It firmly establishes that defeating high blood pressure is entirely possible. It is absolutely not some inevitable fate for a growing nation. But, and this is a big but, it cannot be done in isolation by just one group. We can kind of visualize this triangle of health as a specific matrix of responsibility. The roles are distributed across all of society. Citizens have to step up and take actionable steps to protect their own health. Employers have a very distinct duty to create healthier workplaces for their teams. And the government, well, they must build healthier cities while actively working to reduce economic stress. So your personal fitness, your boss's workplace culture, and your city's urban planning, they all hold equal vital weight in this entire equation. And when all three of those pillars of society fulfill their roles, the result is a massive national upgrade. A healthier population directly creates a significantly stronger economy, way lower healthcare costs, higher productivity across the board, and ultimately, a truly resilient Maldives. Because at the end of the day, health isn't just about avoiding a trip to the doctor. It is literally the fundamental engine of national progress and prosperity. So, as we wrap up this explainer on the nuts and bolts of our national health, I want to leave you pondering this final question. What specific step will you take today to help build a more resilient Maldives? Whether it's carving out time for that 30-minute walk, choosing to cook at home tonight, finally checking your blood pressure, or even advocating for better wellness at your job, this blueprint relies on you. Pick just one thing and start today. Thanks so much for joining me to explore this incredibly fascinating topic.